get ready to rumble!
Yo, Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis made a statement last night in his hometown. The Silver Olympian beat the crap out of Limonada in the second round. Y'all already know Limonada came in 6 pounds heavy in the weigh-in, and still Keyshawn Davis did his thing. And still Keyshawn Davis knocked him out in the second round. And still Keyshawn Davis destroyed him. I mean, there was a lot of people trying to, talk down on the Ryan Garcia coming in 3 pounds heavier, but Ryan Garcia beat the crap out of Devin Haney that time, right? But see, skill paid the bills. Skill paid the bills. And Keyshawn Davis' skills paid the bill last night. But in the post-fight interview, he called out somebody that a lot of people wasn't talking about this type of matchup. He called out Gervonta Davis. But we know that Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson is just not friends. They more like brothers. But Shakur Stevenson is a WBC lightweight champion. Y'all already know 3-division world champion. Shakur Stevenson already have great accomplishment at his age. He's been calling out Gervonta Davis. But we also know that Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, both of these guys have alluded, even here on my channel, Punch Wrong Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazon, a.k.a. El Borracho, a.k.a. Café Bustelo, a.k.a. Pastor de Boxeo. They said it right here on my channel, that they will not fight one another. And I even gave them an example, if you got the 3 belts and you beat Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and Keyshawn Davis got another belt, y'all won't fight for undisputed. Y'all won't fight to see who is the greatest of the lightweight division. Y'all wouldn't do that. So y'all wouldn't. So let's say Keyshawn Davis, because he's the one that I need to prove more than Shakur Stevenson. He's already a proven fighter, pound for pound professional, meaning not a fighter, but a professional, right? Keyshawn Davis is the one that has to prove, has to make statements like he did yesterday, right? Nah, they wouldn't fight. So Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson won't maximize their potential in the lightweight division, because if both of these guys is the A and the B, or the 1 and the 2, they won't fight each other. But we all know that Shakur Stevenson been in position to fight Gervonta Davis. He's the one that been calling him out. He's the one that could unify with Gervonta Davis. He's in position for Gervonta Davis' fight. But Keyshawn Davis is his friend and his brother. Why would he be calling out Gervonta Davis if he knows that his brother want that work, want that payday, deserve that work, and deserve that payday, and deserve the opportunity to become a unified champion? I'm not saying that Keyshawn Davis shouldn't. But if these guys are brothers and wouldn't get in the way of each other's greatness, why would Keyshawn Davis win Gervonta Davis? I mean, before that, Gervonta Davis was calling out Teofimo Lopez, right? Before that, Gervonta Davis was going, talking a potential matchup with Kid Austin, right? But now it's Gervonta Davis, but that's something that's Shakur Stevenson food. You feel me? That's his plate. But y'all brothers, I don't understand this, y'all. I'm not saying that Keyshawn Davis versus Gervonta Davis is not a good fight. I believe that's a good fight. I believe the primary fight in the lightweight division is Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis. So I want Keyshawn Davis to dare to be great as well. He's a silver Olympian, like I said in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? He got the skills to pay the bills. He got power. He made statements. Matter of fact, let's be honest, recently he's been more exciting than a Shakur Stevenson. But Shakur Stevenson has more accomplishments, right? So why would he dig in his play? That's your friend. You know what he want. You know what they've been. You know the dialogue. This has been going on for years. Team Tank, Team Shakur. They both had to acknowledge one another. They never really acknowledged Keyshawn Davis. So why are you trying to tamper with his food? And I said this before. I said, if Keyshawn Davis is not willing to fight his friend because they're friends. Look, I'm a boxing fan. I would love to see a Shakur Stevenson fight Keyshawn Davis, but I'm respecting that they wouldn't fight one another. And that's why I said, if Keyshawn Davis is not going to fight Shakur Stevenson, and he believes that Shakur Stevenson is better than Gervonta Davis, and he could beat Gervonta Davis, how could he maximize his potential and his greatness in the lightweight division? So move to the 140-pound division and stuff like that. That's what I was advocating for, because you guys won't fight one another. So I'm going to respect that. But if you're not going to fight one another, y'all can't pick each other's and take each other's food and pick on each other's food and plates and stuff like that. Is the reason, like the real brothers like Jamal Charlo and Jamel Charlo wouldn't fight in the middleweight division because his brother is there. And if you ever heard them in interviews and stuff like that, he said, Jermell Charlo said, I will only move up to the middleweight division outside of him moving up to fight Canelo Alvarez. He said, I will move up to the middleweight division when my brother moves up to the super middleweight division so he won't clash and he won't take from his food and things of that nature. Now, of course, we thought it was going to be Jermall Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez, but Jermall Charlo wasn't ready. He wasn't mentally ready to fight Canelo Alvarez. Jermell Charlo really he wasn't really pursuing the Canelo Alvarez fight, but it fell down in his plate. He didn't try to take food off Jermall Charlo's plate because Jermall Charlo just didn't want the fight at that time. So might as well, I'll take it. But Shakur Stevenson does want Gervonta Davis. Now, there is reports that saying that probably they finalized a deal or he accepted a deal, Shakur Stevenson to fight William Zepeda, and that's a great fight. I believe that Keyshawn Davis and William Zepeda is in the same type of level right now and contending to get a title shot, right? And I understand Keyshawn Davis in the lightweight division. He wants a title shot as one. He's in position for a title shot. Kid Austin is in position to get a title shot of Gervonta Davis. But they've been going at one another. This is the realistic fight for Keyshawn Davis. I'm not talking about the fight that I want to see. I'm talking about the realistic fight that he's with top rank in the position that he's at in the rankings in the WBC and the WBO. I believe that Keyshawn Davis versus Moretaya is the realistic fight. That's the realistic fight. I'm not talking about that's the fight that, oh my God, I'm dying from the seat. What I'm saying is sometimes we got to pull back, pause. Sometimes we got to be like, you know what? So we won't get frustrated as boxing fans. Let's talk about the realistic fights that could potentially happen, right? As the next fight for Keyshawn Davis. Moretaya, they in the same, like they're like 1, 2, 3 in the WBC and in the WBO. William Zepeda, if he fights Shakur Stevenson, that means he's going to be on the side of WBC in the WBC, right? He will be sanctioned to fight Shakur Stevenson and commissioned to fight through the WBC, right? So that means Kid Austin is in the WBA. William Zepeda is the number 1 in the WBA, so Kid Austin will go to the number 1 spot. Now I can see Kid Austin versus Edo de los Santos. That would be the realistic fight right there. If he can't get Gervonta Davis, if Gervonta Davis fights somebody else, right? Lamont Roach, Lamont Cucaracha, which a lot of people don't want to see that fight, but it is what it is, right? So a Kid Austin will move up to the number 1 spot in mandatory position to fight Gervonta Davis. But then the WBA, when does the WBA really make it a big thing to mandate people and things of that nature? Hopefully they do. But Kid Austin is in position to fight Gervonta Davis in the WBA. In the WBC, it would have to be, all right, Zepeda's going to be fighting Shakur Stevenson because he's the mandatory in position in the WBC. Zepeda's in position in all sanctioning bodies. So he will fight Shakur Stevenson. Moretaya and Keyshawn Davis will probably fight for the mandatory position and probably do a collab of the WBO and the WBC. They've done it before with Luis and Eddie and one of his opponents in the past. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the realistic matchup right now. Moretaya versus Keyshawn Davis. I would have thought that he would have called somebody else in the post-fight interview. I know they was having some back and forth on Twitter. X formerly known as Twitter, Gervonta Davis and Keyshawn Davis, I believe so. But at the end of the day, they're on a position to get these type of fights. But I would say that's Shakur Stevenson's plate. In my opinion, that's the fight that we've been talking about for a long time. That's the fight that a lot of people in the culture want to see, Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis. I'm just wondering, why would Keyshawn Davis, that know that he is more than a friend and just his brother, why would he call out Gervonta Davis when Shakur Stevenson is the one that been barking to get that fight, probably close to get that fight? And the dialogue between both of these guys and their team is all about Shakur and Tank. I'm kind of surprised about that, but it is what it is. Hey, how cool are y'all? Or there is some understanding? Or is it like, yo, let's both trap them, and to the point where whichever one we get, whichever one he picks, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the deal that they have. I don't understand the call out. I don't understand. But you let me know. Subscribe to the channel. This is Punch on Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next. I don't want no trouble.